the bomb could have killed you.
Quiet,
Sometimes it's
Dave.
easy for things to go
God, I'm
sideways.
trying to record an intro here.
Well, anyway,
This
glad
guy,
you're here.
he never shuts up. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Infinifactory. I was just talking to each of the chaps here. Nothing much has changed. They're all sitting around doing the same things. It just kind of occurred to me that something might have changed as we've now unlocked Production Zone. I've also already played this mission briefing. They're just sort of talking about how they're planning an attack against the overlords and that we've got to go and build some ships, I think was the general idea. And this first puzzle is called Hull Panels, so I've got a feeling building parts of ships is now what we will be doing. So let's jump into this and let's check it out. These have been getting progressively harder, haven't they? And that looks relatively simple, although two different... Oh, yeah, like new environment as well. Very cool. I like this. I like the statue as well. Fascinating. What a big area. I don't think it's actually there. It kind of feels to me like it's an image stitched into the background. That might make sense. It might not. Like, I don't think we can actually fly... Yeah, we can't fly over to it. Anyway, let's talk to this thing and see what's going to happen. We've got two types of hull plating to make by the looks of it. Whoa, don't go down the edge. Let's talk to Salvatros.
Hello.
Hi.
Again. I wanted to introduce you to a newly developed tool, the laser.
Okay.
Our tools engineer, Ortis, who you may have met already, took the concept of the eviscerator and somehow made it far more dangerous. It should be useful in your work here.
Okay. I got a feeling this thing might activate based on input because it's got that little thing which you connect a pipe to. Where do the items come from? That's it, is it? Okay, so we're going to have one big block, and you can see over here we need 10 of those. That appears to be about the right height, or maybe it's a little bit smaller. Interesting. Let's find out what this laser does then. I'm going to put one of them pointing across. Next to it, if I press the right button, we will have a sensor, and then we'll have some conduits as well. Okay, and let's see what it does. Okay, it destroys what's in front of it. Interesting, it seems like it's got a rate of fire limit. I'm going to guess it also sort of destroys everything like going across, so if there was more of that stuff back this way, it would destroy it as well. Let's also try out the eviscerator because we could alternatively use that to destroy blocks, right? But I've got a feeling it won't work. No, that works too. Right, but now I get it. Okay, so this sits in a fixed position, whereas this one you can control. So obviously that's going to be useful to us somehow. I'm thinking that we want to cut the size of the blocks to some extent. And we probably want to do that after we've pushed it out a fair bit. So we would have a row of lasers. Aha, yes, of course we couldn't use the eviscerators because it comes out as one big chunk. So we want a row of those to effectively cut off a slice of this at some point. And what we'll probably do, this one is 5 wide, this one is 3. Can we get this thing to take out 5 wide and then take out a 3 wide? Because otherwise we would be taking out 5 each time and then sort of separating them, which is not what we want to do. So I reckon there's a way if we space it out correctly. Let's grab some more blocks. I'd like to see this. I was going to put those down, but this thing just sort of brings itself out. So once it's separated, it would need to fall onto a conveyor to go in a different direction. That's simple enough, so we wouldn't actually need these blocks. Let's count them out with them anyway. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That will go off, let's say, in that direction, and then go over there somewhere. So here is where we're going to have a conveyor belt, and over here is where we will have more lasers to chop off the second bit, and both of these, can you guess it, are going to be activated. Now that I say it, the blueprint of this might be a little bit smaller if we were to put the section of 3 first, just because we've got to run some conduits between it all, but I'm not going to fuss about that. So that's going to be the second segment. This one we want to be 3, and this one's going to go in the opposite direction. So this would be the third bit. So it's when it gets here that we want to activate all of the lasers. So we will put a detector right there. Let's also remove these blocks because in theory I don't think we need any of them. And let's run... Oh, we could run the conduits sort of underneath. At least we could there. But then we also need to go up, which is fine. Up and across. We'll just do that. That's nice and straightforward, isn't it? Cool. Cool stuff. Right. So, now what we should see is 2 segments being created. Nice! That's exactly what I expected to see happen. For once, things are easy. I say for once, you know, the beginning bits while they introduce new blocks are obviously going to be relatively easy. So I think all we need to do now is run this across that way until we get to this bit here where we change direction, and then all we need is 4 blocks in between each one. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 4 there again. Is that 4? And you always need 1 right there. So minimal amount of blocks used, and that goes straight in. That should be correct, unless that thing is actually 4 high. Looks like it might be. Nope. So yeah, we've sussed that side out. That was easy. Now we've got to do the same thing on this side over here with an exception, and that is to add a few blocks. So this time it's 3, which means we leave 2 in between each one, and that lines up perfectly. So the thing that we need extra here is actually something we could do by attaching 2 blocks right there. I was going to build a little tower over here, and then it occurred to me, wait a minute, we can do this over here already. Wow! How cool was that? That's it. That's the puzzle done, right? Look at me sussing it out so quick. That was cool. You could probably do this with maybe a smaller frame with the conduits over there or something along those lines, but I'm happy with that, whatever the block score, because we did it in one go, which is really fun. And you can see there our score was pretty good. Let's play again though. I just want to put the input rate up. Shouldn't this be extremely easy with the input rate up? It's just going to come out faster and do the exact same thing. So we might get a slightly better cycle score here. When we go into the next level, I want to make sure that it starts off at 0. There you go. Now and best. Yeah, best is the one that we just did. No, wait, what? I'm confused. Whatever, we got 2 different scores there. That's cool. Let's continue to the barracks. So we got our new block, which is the laser. Now we've unlocked a ton more. And it says, mission conclusion, solve 5 more puzzles from above. So there are 6 in total. We don't need to solve them all. I would like to do that. And then after that, looks like we get 2 more blocks and another mission. Very cool stuff. So obviously the next thing for us to do is the central axis support. And to be fair, it sounds a little bit complicated. Right, what's going on over here? What's the shape of this like on the inside? If I could fly inside it a little bit, it would help. No, we can't fly inside it. It looks like there's no hole going from top to bottom. So I reckon lasers. I reckon you're going to fire lasers from each side. You're going to bring through a big block. You're going to trim it all with lasers. I don't know. That's just my guess. Let's see what's up.
I'm watching over you and a few other engineers in case something happens. Like if the overlords make an appearance, or you fall into a pit.
Hey, I heard that.
I've got a feeling this is going to be quite simple. Let's just refresh our brains here. This is 5 by 5 by 5. That looks like a 5 by 5 segment. Hopefully it's not like 4 by 4 and you've got to reassemble bits of it. So what we will be doing is simply counting out 1, 2, from there, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. That means we want to have a detector over here, or a sensor, if we use the correct name, and a laser. No, you're in the wrong place. Bam, and that'll go 5 blocks high, and we'll hook it up with a conduit. So that is now hooked up. That will do the business. We could also put a conveyor at the end here to take it off. Right, and yeah, big chunk. So we need to get that out of there. I just realised though, the next one's going to come along and sort of push it as we go, I think. So if we were to continue putting them here, I'm pretty sure they'd get pushed off. Like, this might make more sense when we... Okay, never mind. Let's try that again. I think you'll see though, it gets nudged over as it goes. So I'm going to put some extra ones alongside it. Right, what happens now? No, it actually has enough time to go straight out, which was not what I expected. And by the looks of it, it stalls the input a little bit. So maybe We keep the output flowing by rotating this, which may or may not be a good idea, and then it can go over like that. I've got a feeling though it'll just eventually stall it. Yeah, okay, it will stall it anyway. Let's get rid of those, because it has to be some sort... Okay, these are just taking like priority. That's weird, because usually it's the block it's already interacting with is the one that has priority. Oh, okay, so it going out in that direction is bad anyway, so the fact that it stalls it, probably not going to be an issue. Alright, I'm going to make this nice and sort of slim later on. Here's how I see it going down. We are going to have to fire lasers across the bottom, which won't be an issue because once we've fired them, they're going to continue going in that direction. We can do all 4 at once, then we're going to have to rotate it and do that again. This might be like really easy. Yeah, it's the one in the middle that I think is going to be tricky. I think you've got to do that one before you turn. But for example, let's take this back to somewhere around here. Right, if we have 4 lasers in these positions, and we make this thing... Hang on, how does this thing come down? Right, it's like that. Okay, so one's going to go there. It's also going to be a block higher because we're going to be on a conveyor. And do I have... Yep, I've got the right amount there. So we're going to put some supports up the side since we need them at the top. Oh, this is going to work out really well. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then the one here. And then we can simply copy that on this side. By the way, these will probably be converted into conduits. Okay, we have been just doing this solid, which is really cool. But I think it would probably be a good idea to make a cut. So let me explain what I'm picturing here. It comes down, we detect it at a particular point, it shoots, then we rotate the entire object, so it's in the same path, we shoot again. So picture that big blob, and when we shoot we take out those edges on either side, then we rotate, and we do the same thing for these ones. And what we might also do is hook it up to something that's further back that's going to shoot through the middle, and then we can do it all relatively quickly. So the one that's in the middle would be around here. And what we need to check to see is if there's 5 or more blocks between. So that's 4, 5, 6 in total. If we hook it all up to the same thing, if we can detect it, shoot it, rotate it, and do it again, then that'll be it done in one go, believe it or not, which would be absolutely amazing. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to continue playing because it's not too often that we do this game in one take, and I think it'd be fun for you to perhaps see some of that and see what goes into it. So our conduits are going to connect like this. We could, I think, get away with connecting them all the way underneath because the thing has to be raised, and because it's a big block we can have conveyor belts on either side. So we can keep the blueprint relatively slim like this. Now the next question is, where do we detect it? It's going to be somewhere along here. So we will start off with like that as an experiment, and then in that space we'll try and rotate. Aha! Problem number 1, it's going to change the way that the conveyor works, so we then need the conveyor to be in the middle, like so. Let's just drag that over there, let's drag that back. I think that should work fine. Okay, right, and the one in the middle didn't fire, so somewhere here we need to rotate. I don't know what we're going to see when we do this, so I'm just going to chuck down both of these, and we're going to put one like here. We've got to think it's a 5 by 5 block. If it goes into it in the middle, it might just work perfectly, I don't know. Right. Interesting. So, it just needs to go in by one more block. If we put that there, that might be able to do it. Yeah, so it kind of brought it into the right spot. At which point we would need a second detector somewhere. So let's see if we can get it to go through all the way. Yes. But it needs a push. I think that sort of worked. Wait, no, I'm not... No, it was when it shot the second time that it did. Okay, right, so now let's say we put that there. Let's see what happens now. Let's also watch it a little bit slower. Yeah, yes, that totally works. Right, so now all we need is for this thing over here to fire, which is going to be incredibly simple to set up. And conveyor belts just to continue taking it through. So one there, and I think you're looking at a finished product, which is amazing. I really like this when the challenges are a little bit easier to do. That looks like it. That really does. And the only thing I can comment on now is efficiency over here. Possibly you could squeeze all this up, make it a little bit smaller. Picture it like this. The closer it is to this space and as far that way it can be, more condensed, you know, you're using less conduits. So this bit here could be even closer, and that's one way I think you could compact what we got going on here. Whatever my block score is, I doubt I'm going to come back and try that again, but I think we can safely remove that middle one, and over here I think we just need to remove like those 4, because it'll push it across onto the next one. So once it gets over here, we want to take it out of there and then take it down to this platform. So I think we've got to think in threes now, so no more than 2 in between each one. That's usually the rule. Take the size of the base of it and then deduct it by 1. So then that will, when you're falling down, you need to push it all the way off. It's also going to sort of go down twice because it's got a ledge. Yeah, I don't know how this bit here is going to work out. This is also going to require some trial and error. I thought this might be a little bit more straightforward. So anyway, let's see it in action again. Bam, that's awesome. Right, then it comes over this way. Now here's where it's going to sort of fall down twice. Once, twice. And then it's going to go all the way down here, which is fine. Right, and it just needs to come over. No, is it in the correct spot? It is... Aha, not. It needs to be done a little bit higher. So it is in the correct spot, but not quite. Wait, what am I saying? Am I making any sense? Probably not. Everything needs to be 1 block higher. Let's... this can actually be a gap of 2 each time, can't it? So let's do that. And then over here, just need a gap of 2 and keep it at the same height. Right, that, in theory, is a finished product. So, let's do this. Let's hit play. Send it through. Absolutely amazing. Bam! No! What? Oh, no, I've missed something very important. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so where can we include that? I've got an idea where we can. It shouldn't be too difficult. Right, we shoot it once. Goes into the middle. Right, now when it goes into the middle, where is it? Because it looks like it's in an ideal position for something. Bam. Right. It is. It is perfectly in position for some lasers to point upwards. I was going to point these down. Oh, no, wait. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. How do we do that then? I was going to point them upwards after I was thinking we'd point them down. We can't. So we have to push them into something. Right, so this just got tricky. Okay. So we'd need like a tower going up with like eviscerators, but we'd only need to move it in 1 block. And then it would have to move it along. Right. It was all going too well, wasn't it? It really was. Here's something I am going to do. I'm going to condense this down a little bit. I'm going to make a cut now, for real. We're going to condense this down, make it compact, and then I'll try and build something to cut the edges off as well after. Which should be an interesting challenge. Okay, we are almost there now. I have compacted this thing down crazy amounts. You can see it comes out by 1 block further over here, but that's so there's enough room to do all of this correctly, which is basically everything we did before, just in a much smaller machine. And then I was thinking about how to trim this thing over here, and I ran into a bit of a problem. You can see it doesn't go high enough to go over one side and come down the other, which is a bit of a problem. Then I realised there's a reason there's this big drop here, right? And actually looking at it, maybe this would be the best place to drop it, somewhere right here, and then to have like a group of eviscerators. Actually, that would need to come out by 1 more block, but you would have them essentially like there, and then a little unit. No, come out this way. There we go. Bam. Something like that. Yeah, that needs some revision right there, but you can see the idea, right? So that's pretty much where this is going to go now. We're going to get rid of all of this over here. It's going to be very simple. Going to bring it over to there, drop it down, and we should be good. Are you ready to see this thing in action? Well, I am, because... Oh, wrong button. That should be it. It should now be good and ready to go. Whoa! Warning, watch out. Let's do this. Right, so let's watch it in all its glory. Block comes through, gets separated, gets sent over here. Love how fast that is. And then it goes all the way around this corner. We'll speed that bit up. Drops down over here. One thing to notice is that it falls down a little bit and then it goes down or over again. Those bits get knocked off. And there it goes, all the way in. So let's speed it up. That's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed that. It was kind of funny how, you know, we'd done it so quick in one take, you know, just blitzing through these puzzles. And then I realised I needed to sort of revert a lot of what I'd done, fix a few problems. Yes, something else that I didn't mention there was that the shape of this was being destroyed by the ones behind it, which is something that I noticed when I went back and revised the design. So that one avoided that happening. Many of you probably spotted it and were shouting at me in the comments. Anyway, I think that was absolutely fantastic. We have done 2 puzzles here, and we've got another 5 to go. And then we'll unlock another one. Oh, it's all good. Puzzles, puzzles, puzzles. We love them. Anyway, that's it from me this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like on the video. As always, thank you so much for the support. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.